Take my word for it. I live there. Come to Florida. Get pre-approved right now with my guy Michael Kotze. Call him at 561-441-2730. He's got Choice Mortgage and a great real estate team. Get pre-approved right now. Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. Buy in Florida right now. Don't wait. Save money on state taxes. Make your move today with Choice Mortgage. Trust me, Florida is waiting. This guy's so good, he did my commercials in Florida too. Mike Kotze, 561-441-2730. A ride.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. So Netflix is basically Santa this year. 2 NFL games on Christmas Day, streaming live. At 1 p.m. Eastern, it's Cowboys, Commanders. Then at 4:30, you've got Lions, Vikings. Midwest football, playoff stakes, and probably some snow. Watching holiday football is a tradition the whole family can enjoy. Open some gifts, grab some food, settle in, and watch NFL Live on Netflix this Christmas Day.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Breaking news, WABC.
And this just coming in to us, unfortunately, there's a lot of bad news to report tonight, but out of Los Angeles, out of L.A., apparently longtime actor and Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife have been found dead at their home. The legendary director Rob Reiner and his wife apparently found stabbed to death in their L.A. home. This happened about 3:30 L.A. time, so that puts us at about 6:30 here in New York. And this, it's already all over the world, the news that is breaking. This is from Fox 11 L.A.
Breaking news tonight out of Brentwood, where 2 people were found dead at the home of award-winning actor and director Rob Reiner. Good evening to you. I'm Susan Hirasuna. Authorities say they were found around 3:43 this afternoon at the Chadbourne Avenue home. LAFD says the victims are a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman. Those are the same ages as Reiner and his wife. Fox 7's Rachel Aragon is live near the scene in Brentwood with breaking details for us. Rachel.
Yes, Susan, again, police confirming 2 people found dead inside this Brentwood home. I'm going to step back for you so you can see just what we're looking at here. About a block away, this is off of South Chadbourne Avenue near Hanover Street. As you mentioned, Susan, the call initially coming in for police around 3:30 or so this afternoon. We know that, again, 2 people found dead inside, the ages and the 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman. So far, LAPD not confirming the identity of those 2 people found dead inside. But as you just stressed, the home is owned by famous actor and director Rob Reiner. Reiner, of course, well known for many TV and film credits, things like Wolf of Wall Street, as well as All in the Family. We're still learning more information here in Brentwood, but again, we want to know whether or not, of course, these deaths were suspicious. Back here live at the scene, though, you can see there's still plenty of people here out and this taped off. But again, we are still learning more information about the nature of these deaths, and of course we'll keep you posted throughout the evening.
Rachel, do you know much about his children? Is there some suggestion that one of his children might be involved in this?
We're still learning more information regarding that. We do see, though, Susan, plenty of neighbors outside. A lot of people, as we were driving by here, though, kind of wondering what's going on because, as we know, we have Skyfox up here and many other helicopters. Clearly, there's people and neighbors concerned about what is happening here in an otherwise quiet neighborhood, quiet area, which is Brentwood. But so far, no information regarding his children.
Rachel Aragon, thank you so much for your reporting.
And so a lot going on that we're about to get into right now. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, 800-848-9222. But if you're just joining us, apparently, and we're waiting for the official word from the LAPD, apparently Rob Reiner and his wife have been found dead at their home. The legendary director, you may recall him acting in All in the Family, but the legendary director and his wife apparently found stabbed to death in their L.A. home. We are awaiting official confirmation. As this story breaks over the course of the next 2 hours, we will bring you the information live. So now, let's go to the top 3 issues that we had planned on talking about. Holocaust survivor and children among the 15 people, 15 killed after a crazed gunman, father and son team, opened fire, the hate in the world, folks, on a Sydney Holocaust celebration. Bondi Beach terrorists, they were father and son who legally owned 6 guns despite the tough firearms laws in Australia. And unfortunately, at a Hanukkah celebration in Sydney, this is what it sounded like, as it seemed like it went on forever. The world we live in. 800-848-9222. Brown University. A person of interest ID'd in the shooting that killed 2, injured 9. The person of interest in the deadly mass shooting at Brown University, Ivy League institution, has been ID'd as a 24-year-old man from Wisconsin who served in the Army. His name, Benjamin Erickson, and he was arrested before dawn Sunday, or taken into custody, at a Hampton Inn in Coventry, Rhode Island, after an 11-hour manhunt following a gunman opening fire at the Ivy League institution's Providence campus during a final exam study session Saturday. So he's originally from Wisconsin, but apparently has lived in an apartment in D.C. since 2024. And this is the moment, after being on lockdown, where Providence police, stormed one of the classrooms to get college kids, out of danger. They had been told to stay in place, lock in place, and for hours this went on. And then finally the police went in to different classrooms in the building to get the young people out. Now keep in mind, these kids have never encountered anything like this before, and they were scared to death.
Hands. Everybody get your hands. Hands. Just keep your hands up for us. Obviously there's something going on. We're here to help you. Just listen to what we have to say, okay? All right, breathe. Anybody hurt? No? All right, just listen to our commands. We will get you out of here safely. Is this it? Is this the group?
Guys, if you have your bags, your phones, go grab it now. Quickly.
Go, quick, go.
Get orderly, fast. Let's go. Good job.
Grab your stuff. Hurry up.
Now think about this for a second, folks. These young kids, they don't know anything about this type of stuff. And the police are forced to storm in. And the police are telling them, hands. And they're confused. What am I putting up my hands for? But they're complying because they love life and they want to live. And put yourself in the situation of the police. They don't know if there's a bad guy in that room still with the gun. And so that's why you hear, and that's the number one thing I hear from police, before we can do anything else, I've got to see your hands to make sure that you're not reaching for a deadly weapon. So you heard them say hands. And these are Ivy League students forced to put up their hands, and thankfully they were rescued. So that's 2 of the big stories. The third one, President Trump declaring ISIS will pay. 3 American soldiers killed in an ambush.
So we mourn the loss of 3 great patriots in Syria. You know how it happened. It was an ambush, terrible. We also have 3 wounded. They seem to be doing pretty well. But we mourn the loss. These are 3 great people. And it's just a terrible thing. Syria, by the way, was fighting along with us. The new president of Syria is, as they told me, and I'm not surprised, he's devastated by what happened. This was an ISIS attack on us and Syria. And again, we mourn the loss and we pray for them and their parents and their loved ones. Very, very sad.
Mr. President, will the U.S. retaliate against ISIS?
Yeah, we will.
And should U.S. forces attack again?
We're going to be seeing.
And should the U.S. still be
We will retaliate. Thank you very much.
And thank you, Mr. President, declaring ISIS will pay, as they should. Perhaps the only good news out of the last 48 hours, give or take, the son of Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, ICE pulled over her son. And all I can say is hopefully, Congresswoman, more is coming your way very soon.
At Target, he did get pulled over by ICE agents, and once he was able to produce his passport ID, they did let him go.
So your son went to Target last night with his passport.
He always carries it with him.
In case he gets pulled over.
Yes.
Which he did by ICE.
Yes.
And so the Congresswoman describing what happened to her son, if you think that we're going to see you as a victim, if you think that I'm going to see you as a victim, I see you as a nuisance that needs to be thrown out of the country. Why? Going on TV, she was as defiant as ever, and of course, playing the race card.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after black immigrants in this country. And it's certainly not surprising that he's choosing a black immigrant community that is also Muslim. But what I would like to say is that most of us are citizens. On our passport, it says we are nationals of this country. We love that Minnesota has welcomed us. Many of us have not been settled in Minnesota. We chose it as a home because the Minnesota people and the state is beautiful and very welcoming. And we are going to be here regardless of what the president has to say.
I agree. I love the tweet.
This lady needs to be shown the door, and I have a funny feeling it's going to happen. First of all, for you to speak for the entire Somalian community, you're not going to be here because the Trump administration has already identified as much as 50% of the applications that permitted them to come here. There's something wrong with the applications. So they're going. So you can talk that talk all you want to, Congresswoman. Your people are going. And hopefully you'll be the first one out the door leaving America forcefully, in a forcible way. 800-848-9222. And again, apparently, Rob Reiner and his wife have been found dead in their home. The legendary director and his wife found stabbed to death in their L.A. home. We are awaiting details on that breaking story, literally as we speak. Let's start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's start with William in central New Jersey, line 2. William, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, thanks for taking my call. I was just saying, I've been hearing about all these volatile shootings lately. Everybody, in New York City, all over in America, you have to be observant. I used to, when I did surveillance, I was lifeguarding and whatnot. I was always surveilling constantly. Like somebody comes in, you get a freaky feeling that comes into your gut. You say, you know what, this smells like when I'm in the city, I see people like just bury their head down into the ground. They're not observing. And this is what these crazed gunmen want us to do, not pay attention. And then all of a sudden they open up. I'm like, what's that guy doing over there? You know, that looks abnormal. You know, pay attention to your gut. Open your eyes. The cops need you too. You know, I was like, I'm so sick of hearing about these nuts that go off with these like heinous weapons and they kill my people. It just makes me nuts, Dominic.
Well, it makes all of us nuts. It's the world that we live in. But I don't know, William, what college kids in a classroom prepping for a final, what they could do. If someone comes in the classroom and says something, it's alleged that he said something, Allah Akbar, something to the tune of that. That's not confirmed. What else could those kids do at Brown University? What else could the people at the Hanukkah celebration in Australia do?
But the point is, like, when they're preparing to do something like that, they got a bag on them. They're acting abnormal. You never know. Like,
right,
I'm always watching.
William, that's Hollywood style. When the way it really goes down is they roll on you and they start shooting. In some cases, thank you for the call. In some cases, there's nothing you can do. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Norman, line 1 in Brooklyn. Norman, good evening.
Good evening. Hi,
on
Dom.
this
Listen,
rough weekend, what's on your mind?
Listen, I'm not an observant Jew, okay? I'm not Orthodox. But one of the things that I do is I do light the Hanukkah lamps, and I particularly take pride that I was telling this to Liz earlier. The Hanukkah lamp I light was made by my grandfather, who was a Holocaust survivor. He came to America in 1940 from Nazi-occupied Austria. One of the things he did when he first came here, he was a tinsmith by trade, is he made a menorah, and that is a menorah that I light. So anyway, so I take down the menorah, I light the candle, I say the blessings in Hebrew, and then I turn on the TV. And I see this thing going on in Australia, and so this is it's horrible things happening. Half my family got killed over there in not Australia, but in Austria. Half were killed for being a Jew, and I see here we are. It's 2025, and the same crap is still happening, and I see a father teaching his son. A father and son, not teaching his son, trying to get him into business or trying to help him or whatever. No, I see a father coaching his son to kill innocent people. And, it's disgusting. It's very sad. And it's a commentary, how far we have not come,
Well, you're right, how far we haven't come. But how do we get out of this mess, Norman? Both incidents, the one at Brown University. See, my contention, and you tell me if I'm right or if I'm wrong, and from your perspective, it's my contention that, and I hate to blame one political party over the other, but it's my contention that the lax rules under the Biden administration said to these nuts that you can do whatever you want to do. With no repercussions.
Oh, yeah, completely so. And from what I understand, the nuts in Australia, the leftist sort of way, it's a similar thing that's happened in Australia. So they banned all guns, but it's very woke and very progressive there, and lenient there, and they've allowed in a lot of jihadists, a lot of people who are. Who take pride in killing Jews. And so, there's a certain, these lenient things, the lenient or whatever, overly permissive societies encourage these things, certainly.
Well,
I mean, you certainly, you don't have these things happening in places like, from what I understand, places like Hungary, where they, do not permit all these illegal aliens and migrants and things, from entering their country. You're going to let in the garbage of the world. This is what's going to happen. and then you encourage the garbage of the world to act like garbage. That's it. I mean, they don't, I mean, I don't know. My grandfather came here. He was an immigrant. He came here legally, and he wanted to blend in. He didn't want, he was poor. He came here and he worked, it took quite a lot of effort through visas and from my mother. My mother came here in 1939. She worked the whole year to bring my grandfather to the country legally, grandmother and grandfather, and had to take them through. Forget it. They couldn't go west because the war was eating up they had to go east, and they had to actually get to the port of China to bring them to the United States. So it was my point is that people came here. It seemed to me a lot of immigrants who came here, they came here to do well, to contribute. Not
anymore.
My
Norman,
grandfather,
I gotta move on.
whatever.
They're not doing that. They're not doing that anymore, Norman. I gotta move on. I gotta move on, Norman. Thank you for the call. They're not doing that anymore. What's happening now is many of these immigrants are coming here to get over for what they can get. And it's disgusting. They're not looking to contribute. Norman, thank you for that great call. In Rhode Island right now, let's go to Anthony, line 2. Anthony, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thanks for taking my call. This tragedy at Brown University that happened yesterday, actually, I just went by on the highway, and then I went by the hotel where this person was supposed to have gotten to Coventry.
Right.
They have no photo other than the back of this person. There's loads of cameras. It's a Jewish community in Providence, in that area. And I hear it was Jewish students that were in that class. But yet there's no other photo of this person. They don't want to, it's like mum's the word. They don't want to talk about anything.
Okay, but wait, Anthony. So, and again, this is a very fluid situation. Until he's under arrest, you can't release a photo. And if they don't have the president of Brown, I'm going to deal with this next hour. I don't think she's going to survive this because, okay, let me backtrack. Let me do this, dissect this slowly. If you want to know what really goes on in a city, let something happen on a Saturday night. Unfortunately, like it happened at Brown, because we'll find out who's there, who's not there, who's away from town. And it's unfair to criticize public officials for that. But, for example, going back to the administration of David Dinkins, the police commissioner at the time, Lee Brown, was hit with the tag out-of-town Brown because he was out of town at very important times for the city. So when this happened at Brown University, the police commissioner was not there at the press conference. It was one of his underlings. It was the provost of Brown University that was at the news conference. The president was not there. And so what happened, what was interesting, though, the mayor of Providence was there, and the mayor took control immediately. And the governor was not initially there. They had to get the governor on location. So I don't know how they got the president of Brown there, but when she did arrive, oh my God, she had nothing to say. And we're going to play the soundbite where one of the reporters criticized her because 6 hours later she had no information. So it may have been more to her advantage to let the provost handle it, but then she would have been criticized for not being there. So, Anthony, I'm not going to necessarily criticize them yet because we don't have a photo. Now, if you want to say to me, see, what I try and explain to you folks all the time, real life is not Hollywood. You know, in Hollywood, there's a camera on every corner, on every door that picks up your movement. So this guy, whoever did this, knew something about the campus. They're saying that he had possibly attended for a semester. Something went wrong. He had too much information. And then it raises another question, Anthony, that I'm asking tonight. What are these admissions counselors doing? Anthony, you can sit down with somebody for 2 seconds and tell if they're off mentally. So how would somebody like that get into Brown University? Now, maybe they didn't see it, a mental illness. So, but you're stuck on the picture. All I'm saying is, Anthony, is not Hollywood. Sometimes you got to give it some time. Now, if you want to say to me that Brown gets an $8 billion endowment, so there should be a camera on every door, yes, I'll agree with that. Anthony, you have the final word before we take a break.
Well, that's just it. One of the higher-ups did say there's cameras in there, and he was asked, and why is there not a photo of this person? Well, it's like they're trying just not to, I don't know, it just, something stinks in Providence.
Okay, but Anthony, could it be they don't have a front shot of the guy? This is not Hollywood. You don't just go pull out a picture on camera. And it doesn't work like that. If they don't have a picture, I mean, what are they supposed to do?
Well, if he yelled what you said that he yelled.
Right.
And it's a big liberal. Providence is very liberal. Let's just say that.
There's no doubt about it. I've been on the Brown campus, went to a couple of basketball games.
If that's what they want to do, they want to cover that up.
No, I don't think they're. Anthony, let's not start with the conspiracies. I don't think they're covering anything up. Anthony, I'm gonna try. Anthony, I'm gonna try it again. If they don't have a photo of the guy, why does that point to a conspiracy?
Well, they have a photo of his back.
And they released it, right? So don't you give them some credit for releasing that? So because they don't have a photo of the front of him, that says there's a conspiracy?
How about at the hotel?
Well, at the hotel, I don't know at the hotel. Now, I'm sure at the hotel there's a picture of the front of him because he had to check in. But, I can't, maybe the hotel's not agreeing to release it. I don't know. That's a legitimate point. But what I'm saying is at Brown University, this guy clearly, unfortunately, knew what he was doing. Maybe, did you ever consider maybe he knew where there's not a camera? All you have to do is look up.
Yep. Yeah.
All I'm saying, then, Anthony, let's just pour people, the bodies are not even cold yet. The funerals are not even planned yet for the two victims. You got kids at Brown that not even home for Christmas. So let's just chill, please, with the conspiracy stuff. Let's just put that on hold. You can't blame them because they don't have a front shot of this guy. Plus, he has something on his face to release. It's a miracle that they got the back shot.
There was nobody at the door. I'm just surprised there was nobody at the door.
When you say there was nobody at the door, I don't know what you mean by that.
The door's locked. Why aren't the doors
locked? But Anthony, kids are kids. College kids are college kids. They're going to prop the door open. They don't want to be bothered. They had no idea this was going to happen. Kids are going to be kids, Anthony. And you can't have a security officer on every door. That's unrealistic on a college campus. I've been up at Brown numerous times, all those buildings that are interacted within the community. You can't just say that there's going to be a security guard at every door. It's just unrealistic at an urban campus. So please, let's just chill with the conspiracy stuff. Let's just see what happens. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Take my word for it. I live there. Come to Florida. Get pre-approved right now with my guy Michael Kotze. Call him at 561-441-2730. He's got Choice Mortgage and a great real estate team. Get pre-approved right now. Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. Buy in Florida right now. Don't wait. Save money on state taxes. Make your move today with Choice Mortgage. Trust me, Florida is waiting. This guy's so good, he did my commercials in Florida too. Mike Kotze, 561-441-2730. All right.
Shopify's point-of-sale system helps you sell at every stage of your business. Need a fast and secure way to take payments in person? We've got you covered. How about card readers you can rely on anywhere you sell?
Thanks. Have a good one.
Yep, that too. Want one place to manage all your online and in-person sales? That's kind of our thing. Wherever you sell, businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial at shopify.com/Spotify. Shopify.com/Spotify.
Retirement isn't just about closing out your career. It's living the life you've always dreamed of. With New York Life, you get the financial guidance to make it real. Start today at NYL.com.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you used Babbel, you would. Babbel's conversation-based techniques teaches you useful words and phrases to get you speaking quickly about the things you actually talk about in the real world, with lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts and voiced by real native speakers. Babbel is like having a private tutor in your pocket. Start speaking with Babbel today. Get up to 55% off your Babbel subscription right now at babbel.com/Spotify. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify. Rules and restrictions may apply.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And a lot going on at this hour. We are awaiting the official word that it's Rob Reiner, the legendary movie director, and his wife that were found stabbed to death in his L.A. home. That's exactly what police believe. What happened? We have no other information as of this hour. We are working on it, and we have the situation in Australia, a Hanukkah celebration. And these savages do what they did. Then we have the shooting up at Brown in Providence. Horrible situations, absolutely horrible. 15 among the dead in Australia, a Holocaust survivor, children among the dead. 2 dead at Brown University, 9 others injured. And in Sydney, at the shooting there, which is absolutely horrible, police confirming that it was and this was a Hanukkah event, a father and son team.
The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son. The 50-year-old is deceased. The 24-year-old is currently in hospital at the moment.
That's a police official in Australia. President Trump commenting on both situations, but giving huge praise to a man, you may have seen this online, in Australia, who charges up behind one of the shooters and wrestles the rifle out of his hand, getting injured to save lives.
So we don't get ourselves in any trouble, but they have a person of interest at Brown. And in Australia, you probably read it's been a very, very brave person, actually, who went and attacked frontally one of the shooters and saved a lot of lives. So very brave person who's right now in the hospital, pretty seriously wounded. So great respect to that man that did that. But we're here for...
So President Trump there giving credit to the man in Australia who wrestled the rifle out of one of the suspects' hands. And what do Democrats do? We've got Providence, we've got Australia. Rob Reiner and his wife found stabbed to death in their L.A. home, apparently. What do Democrats do? Senator Chris Murphy goes on TV to blame Trump, to go after Trump for the Brown University shooting in terms of claiming that somehow that Trump is responsible for increased violence in this country. It is absolutely ridiculous.
Not shocking, because over the last year, President Trump has been engaged in a dizzying campaign to increase violence in this country. He is restoring gun rights to felons and people who have lost their ability to buy guns. He eliminated the White House Office of Gun Violence Protection, and he has stopped funding mental health grants and community anti-gun violence grants that Republicans and Democrats supported in that 2022 bill. So he has been engaged in a pretty deliberate campaign to try to make violence more likely in this country. And I think you're unfortunately going to see the results of that on the streets of America.
That's a pretty big statement. He's in a campaign to make violence more likely?
Of course. I mean, he's knowingly restoring gun rights to dangerous people. He is cutting off grants that have bipartisan support to try to interrupt violence in our cities or to try to get necessary mental health resources to families and children in need. The evidence tells you that when you stop funding mental health, when you stop funding community anti-gun violence programs, when you give gun rights back to dangerous people, you are going to have an increase in violence that is knowable and that is foreseeable.
Well, Senator Murphy, there's no other way to say this. You need to go sit down somewhere and shut up and stop playing politics. Connecticut is right there on the border next to Rhode Island. And you're trying to blame Trump? This is disgusting. New York City, Mayor Adams. I give Adams credit for this. He has 15 days left in office, and he's still leading the city. 15 days left in his mayoralty. He's still acting as the leader of New York City. Considering what happened in Brown, but in particular in Sydney, Australia, Mayor Adams pulling together the police commissioner and top officials. And here's a bit of what Mayor Adams had to say just a few hours ago.
For what it is. This was just not a random act of violence that took place. It was anti-Semitic and targeted Jewish people. And today I'm here to provide an update on the security measures around synagogues and menorah lighters across the city, particularly in the wake of the anti-Semitic terror attack in Sydney that killed over a dozen people and injured approximately 40 more. We are surging counterterrorism officers and critical response commands, and the police commissioner will go in details on what we're doing. And we did this periodically after the attacks on October 7th. But let me be clear, we are doing this out of an overabundance of caution. In Sydney, the police had what appears to be a slower response. I'm sure the investigation will determine what happened, but I do know this. Specialized units play a primary role and function to go and respond to terrorist attacks at this nature. It is ill-advised to talk about the dismantling of the SRG team, the same team that went into 345 Park Avenue when we had now a lone gunman that took the lives of innocent New Yorkers. It took the courage of a civilian to take down one of the shooters. The country was lucky that the civilian was there. Public safety can't be luck. Specialized units like SRG are trained for these encounters. And this illustrates the necessity of the strategic response groups who are ready to respond to terror attacks on a mass scale. But this attack did not come out of nowhere. It came out as the consequences of Islamic extremists. And we have to be clear on that. It's not an attack on our Muslim brothers and sisters who carry out their faith every day, but is the hijacking of their religion by Islamic extremists. Words have meaning. Words have impact, and words have power. Everyone needs to understand what words mean before they repeat them, before they shout them, before they defend them. That attack in Sydney is exactly what it means to globalize intifada. We saw the actual application of the globalization of intifada in Sydney because the attacker knew who he was targeting, and he knew why. It is the first night of Hanukkah, the festival of lights, where Jews are obligated to publicize the celebration of their faith. And among the murdered victims of the attack were a rabbi who had ties to Crown Heights, as well as a Holocaust survivor. Let me say that again. A rabbi and a Holocaust survivor killed for being Jewish. Anti-Semitism has no place in our city, in our society, and in our world. And I will continue to fight for this community and all communities of this city, and for fellow brothers and sisters from the Jewish community. For the past 4 years, this administration has stood by the Jewish community, not just as the mayor, but as an ally, as a father, and as a human being. As human beings, we cannot just turn down the temperature of hate. That is not enough. We must shut it off completely. Here in New York City, we must call out hate without fear and without apology, because we will not be silent in the face of bigotry, of hatred to any group.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams, I give him credit. He's got 15 days left in office. He's still trying to do the right thing. He's still serving the people of New York as the leader of the city. And I don't mean to cast any shade on the new mayor, but now that I think about it, where's his statement on all this? Maybe it's out there. Maybe I haven't seen it yet. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But he has this interesting way of when it's something that's pro-Muslim, he can jump out there immediately and say what he has to say. But when it's something that of this nature, like in Australia, now maybe I should choose my words carefully, because maybe the new mayor has something out there yet that I just haven't seen yet. But as the mayor, he's obligated to make sure that the people here of the city hear exactly what he has to say. Let's go to your telephone calls. Joe, line 3 in New Jersey. Joe, on this Sunday night, what's on your mind?
You know, Dominic, I'm quite up there in age, and I never seen the crime that I'm seeing today. And I have a funny feeling it stems from drugs. And I don't think they should have legalized marijuana. That's a gateway to drugs, harsh drugs. So, I mean, all these shootings and things like that, I think these people are on drugs.
Well, I don't agree that they should. I agree with you. They should not have legalized marijuana. I would hope that marijuana wouldn't push someone to do something like this, but not just illegal drugs. Drugs that are legal, the impact of what they have on people. I don't know, Joe, but I do know that something's got to give here. You can't go to the movies in peace. The theater may get shot up. You can't sit in a classroom at an Ivy League institution studying for a final exam because some nut may come in and shoot up the classroom. You can't go to a Hanukkah celebration in Australia because some savages may come and start shooting up the event. You can't even be at your home in peace. Actor Rob Reiner, who apparently has been stabbed to death, and his wife. It's just horrible, Joe. Thank you for the call. Maybe you're onto something, Joe. Maybe. I don't know. Let's go to John, line 2, Long Island. John, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, I want to commend the mayor. You know, he got his stride, unfortunately, in the end. And in the beginning, he was being too much hip hop in a certain way. Now he's starting to wake up to reality, how to manage things. And he got that from Trump in certain ways. He saw the reality, how things should run. And I think now he's commenting on this, obviously, this tragedy. And I'm asking you too, Dominic. God forbid this happens in the future with the new mayor. Let's monitor him, see how he handles it for the future. I'm curious to know what he'll say and do if God forbid something like this, something happens in the future against some Jewish, New Yorkers and so forth. I wonder. So, that's my comment, Dominic. To you.
I hear you, John.
Yeah.
But I asked a very simplistic question. And call me naive, call me whatever. I just don't understand why people around the world get off on attacking Jews. I just don't get it. I've never been a hateful person. I don't understand. John, thank you for the call. I've got to take a break, folks. We see all your telephone calls. It is a horrible news night when you consider the shootings that have occurred from Australia to Brown University to the American soldiers, 3 being killed, to actor Rob Reiner and his wife apparently being stabbed to death in L.A. in their own home. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This is Dominic Carter, everybody.
On Talk Radio 77 WABC.
And we are back. I'm with you until 1 a.m. this morning. Ilhan Omar, the congresswoman, was asked, appearing on some of the shows, asked about the shootings at Brown and in Australia. She was on MS Now.
We are following these shootings in Australia and in Rhode Island. There was a shooting in your district not that long ago, a mass shooting. This is yet another bad day for America.
Yeah, I mean, we are still recovering from the shooting at Annunciation Church. It is a tragedy that this has become a normal occurrence. Not just in the United States, but now seeing it in Australia, who's worked really hard to create gun prevention laws to prevent the kind of tragedy that took place today.
So notice she didn't say anything about anti-Semitism. She just glossed over everything. This lady's got to go. She's got to be shown the door out of the country. Let's go to Eduardo, line 1, Tampa Bay, Florida. Eduardo, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, she's an embarrassment. You know, before I get into my comment about Mr. Erickson, CAIR, C-A-I-R, they're on notice, so they better watch it because now they got to look over their shoulder. I think they're going to be history in the future. It's a ignorant organization. But moving on to Mr. Erickson, he
wait. I'm sorry. When you say CAIR, I don't know what you're referring to.
CAIR, the Council of
and I don't understand how that's relevant to anything that we're talking about.
Okay, well, then, I'm sorry. Let me move on to Mr. Erickson.
Yeah, but you've already thrown that out there and confused everybody. So, and it confused me. But okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So moving on to Mr. Erickson, he was into the migrant supports, gender equality, animal welfare.
Wait a minute. You're only citing. Wait a minute. You're only citing what you're reading. That's very dangerous. That's very dangerous. You don't know anything about this guy. You're only citing what you've read in published articles. Frankly, this is part of the problem. But go ahead. I'll engage me. I'll engage you. Go ahead.
Okay. So obviously we have a problem with mental health and social media more than, I think, gun control, like Ms. Omar was talking about. So I think those are the two that we should be looking at more than gun control. The social media and mental health.
Why? I don't understand why social media. What? I'm just not following you tonight. When you say social media, what are you saying exactly?
The social platforms.
But why is that relevant to this situation? That's what I'm not following.
Well, it's created a chamber where people are just listening to what they want to listen to. They're only talking to people who agree with them.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But how do we know that social media influenced this guy?
Well, it appears that it is.
Why?
I mean,
based on help me out.
Towards.
I'm trying to follow you. What is that based on? You're just making the comment with nothing to back it up?
Just reading on stories that I've been reading.
Okay. See, this is part of the problem. Thank you for the telephone. This is exactly part of the problem. You read some garbage online, and then you call up to a radio station and recite it. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know if the information is correct. It just goes with your talking point, so you go with it. It's ridiculous. Let's go to Judith, line 4 in Brooklyn. Judith, good evening. What's on your mind?
Let me tell you, Dominic, this morning when I saw this, I was born in Melbourne, Australia, so Sydney is a little bit away, closer, and it's like, I'm Jewish, and it doesn't make a difference if I'm Jewish or not. I'm a humanitarian, okay? As far as I'm concerned, you're my brother from another mother. Do you know that?
Well,
that's
thank
how
you.
I
feel the same way.
No, that's how I feel. I'm serious. I'm serious because as far as I'm concerned, there's one Father in heaven. He's God, and we have all God in all of us, and He is our Father, and that's how you are my brother from another mother. And I'm not joking. So therefore, forget the fact I'm Jewish. But the fact is, Jewish people are being targeted all over the world. And it hit me because I was born in Australia, and I'm listening to this stuff, and I was just crying. Why? Because you're frustrated. I am so frustrated with all this unfairness because I know factually so many lies that are being told about Israel, lies about Gaza, lies, and this man, Dami, he is the biggest liar. coming from a father that is a terrible liar and a professor that sits there and says suicide bombers are fine. It's just incredible. So let me tell you something. I definitely blame this moron, whatever it is, Zoran Mandami, because he's the one that said global intifada, and that's a call around the world for radical Islamists to do exactly what these people did now in Australia. Okay? I blame him. And he will find justification for murdering Jews. He will find justification when, let's say, Jews went into a synagogue the other day, whatever, and there were 200 radical Islamists that were so threatening and so intimidating and didn't let them in and didn't let them out, very scary, and no one came to rape, and there he was justifying these 200 people. And this is who he is. So
I hear you, Judith.
And you know, Dominic, I want to tell you something. As far as gun laws, I believe this. As far as gun laws are concerned, I don't believe in any free gun zones because that's exactly where they go, these cowards. And I believe that good people should be allowed to carry guns as a protective mechanism because we need more good people with guns to protect from these crazy people, these radical Islamists and whatever.
I hear you, Judith. Thank you for the call. I can't respond because I'm up against a hard break, but hour number 2 is coming up. 800-848-9222. We are coming back with the very latest on the murder, apparently, of actor Rob Reiner.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Chronic spontaneous urticaria, or chronic hives with no known cause. It's so unpredictable. It's like playing pinball. Itchy red bumps start on my arm, then my back, sometimes my legs. Hives come out of nowhere, and it comes and goes. But I just found out about a treatment option at treatmyhives.com. Take that, chronic hives. Learn more at treatmyhives.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news, WABC.
And we start this hour with horrible news out of California. Legendary director Rob Reiner and his longtime wife have been found stabbed to death inside their Brentwood home, and investigators are eyeing the couple's troubled adult son as a person of interest. That's where things stand as of right now. Officials were called officers to the home Sunday afternoon where they discovered a man and a woman with stab wounds, and the man appeared to be 78 years old and the woman 68 years old. And again, the ages matched those of Reiner and his wife. And as you might imagine, the LA TV stations are all over this.
We are following this breaking news right now on Eyewitness News. There is a death investigation at a home in Brentwood on Chadbourne Avenue. Right now, we do know that there are 2 victims. We're told a 78-year-old man and a 68-year-old woman. The LAPD homicide unit is on the scene. You're looking live at that scene in Brentwood right now. Air 7 is over the situation.
And among the social media folks, Perez Hilton is all over this, and he did a podcast. It is now confirmed, though, that it's Rob Reiner and his wife. You may recall him from All in the Family, playing the son-in-law. Perez Hilton on his podcast on social media had this to say.
The Brentwood home has been confirmed to be that of Rob Reiner and his wife, Michelle, and the bodies match their ages. The LA Fire Department said that the two deceased in the Brentwood home were approximately 78 and 68 years old. The LAPD Robbery Homicide Division detectives have been assigned to the case. Currently, several other LAPD officials are at the home right now. The LAFD were the first to respond to the home on Chadbourne Avenue around 3:30 p.m. Within minutes, LAPD officers were dispatched to the home for a report of an ambulance death investigation, which is LAPD terminology when officers are called by firefighters to the discovery of a death.
And so again, longtime legendary director Rob Reiner and his longtime wife have been found dead, stabbed to death inside their Brentwood home in L.A. Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. We see your calls coming in. We're about to begin with them. And now we switch to what happened at Brown University. The first victim of the deadly school shooting has been identified as a sophomore student and vice president of the school's college Republican club. Her name, Ella Cook. And according to her family back in Alabama, and it was shared. The news of her death was shared during a service at the Catholic Church of in her hometown in Birmingham. And so this is just absolutely horrible. She's one of the two people dead, students at Brown University. And, you know, this young lady is only in her second year of college, and she's gone, a sophomore. And she was the vice president of the school's college Republican club. I don't know if there's any connection to that. We don't have any information as it relates to that. We see your calls coming in. We're about to begin with them. The First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, with the president standing right by her, reflected on this and what happened in Australia.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the White House. It's nice to see familiar faces. First of all, my thoughts and prayers go to the families of people who lost their loved ones around the world in this difficult time. We are celebrating here Christmas, and I'm thinking about them, what they're going through. So my heart is with them.
The First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump. As for the police officials in Australia, they confirmed that it was a father and son team.
We have progressed at pace overnight with that investigation, and as a result of investigations undertaken, I can say that we are not looking for a further offender. We are satisfied that there were two offenders involved in yesterday's incident. One is deceased. The second is in critical but stable condition in hospital at the moment. The offenders are a 50-year-old and 24-year-old male who are father and son. The 50-year-old is deceased. The 24-year-old is currently in hospital at the moment. As part of the investigation, we conducted two search warrants last night, one at Bonnie Rig and a second at Campsie. The 50-year-old male is a licensed firearms holder. He has 6 firearms licensed to him. We are satisfied that we have 6 firearms from the scene yesterday, but also as a result of the search warrant at the Campsie address. Ballistics and forensic investigation will determine this morning that those 6 firearms are the 6 that were licensed to that man, but also that they were used in the offence yesterday at Bondi. We will continue to investigate this matter thoroughly. It's important for the community to have the reassurance that New South Wales Police, working with our Commonwealth partners, will not stop until we understand the reasons behind this senseless incident and take any available action that we need to do.
So that's the police officials, in Australia. And this just coming in Providence. Oh, horrible news, but they have to get the right guy. Apparently, the gunman at the Brown University shooting is still at large, as authorities will release the man that they have detained thus far. So that's why they call them a person of interest, because that does not mean that you're going to be charged with a crime. It means that they have reason to believe that you may be connected with this. But apparently, this person is being released, according to Mayor Brett Smiley of Providence. And so apparently they don't have the right guy. They don't have the right guy. A lot is going on at this hour. Dominic Carter here with you folks. Let's start with your telephone calls. Let's go to Rob, line 2, Long Island. Rob, what's on your mind?
Yeah, Dominic, good evening. You got a great show. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
A couple of things, and that was, you're welcome. A couple of things. And the first thing I was going to mention that just got news that they got the wrong guy. Person of interest, they got to release him. I mean, the incompetence over in Rhode Island is pathetic.
Okay, well, wait, Rob, wait, hold on, Rob. Is that really fair? Is that fair? I mean, Rob, here's, I'm going to let you say whatever you want to say. Wait, Rob, hold on a second. Rob, hold on a second. I'm going to let you say whatever it is you want to say. But I say this all the time. Law enforcement is not Hollywood. You don't just knock down a door and there's your suspect sitting right there. Whoever did this was cold, calculating, and knew how to get away from the system. Go right ahead, Rob.
Yeah, I was just going to say you can't release the person's name and a picture of him if he's just a person of interest. Hold that information until you get it corroborated and you have the right guy. In any case, I'm not sure what that deal was all about, but I can tell you that what happened in Australia is a father and son, two jihadists, without a doubt. And when I call them the jihadists, what I mean by that is that they despise Western civilization. They have nothing but contempt for Australia, and they hate Jews and they hate Christians. No mention of where they're from. What country did they come from? I mean, it's unbelievable. A Muslim ban they should have in Australia, in the U.S. People don't realize since 9/11, when probably 50 to 100 people were cheering in Paterson, New Jersey. That's right. I said it, Paterson, New Jersey, when the two towers imploded and came down. What have we done in 24 years? Absolutely nothing. 19 of those hijackers had one thing in common, more than one thing, but they were all Muslim. 15 from Saudi Arabia.
Well, the problem, Rob, is that we can't paint with a broad brush. We just can't do it. We can't do it. Everybody of one group is not bad. There are common denominators, to your point, but everybody is not bad. Let's go. It's against my better will, especially on a night like this. Let's go to Dave in Comac, line 3. Dave, what's on your mind?
Got to have gun control in this country, Dominic, and your tyrant friend needs to be impeached. He doesn't belong going for a war over oil in Venezuela. We don't need another war over oil.
Dominic is done with you.
That's it, Dave. I'm not in the mood for your nonsense tonight. Take it somewhere else. I'm not down for the fun and games. Tonight is not the night for it. Okay? My daughter lives in Rhode Island with my grandkids, and there's a killer on the loose now. And you want to joke about your hatred of President Trump because he didn't let you in the Trump Tower one time to use the bathroom? Guess what, homeboy? I wouldn't let you in either. Let's go to Angelina, line 2, Long Island. What's on your mind, Angelina?
Hi, Dominic. Thank you for taking my call. My heart is so breaking. Every day we're hearing this. There is a war on Christians and Jews from these radical Muslims, and we need to wake up and smell the coffee and do something about this because it's not going to stop. They hate us.
You know what? Oh boy.
What are we going to do?
It appears that way. It appears that way.
Yeah, it is. We're going to have a religious war. How are we going to stop this?
And you know, Angelina, I had to check myself today. I go into my local Walgreens in New City, and the young lady was very nice, but she had on a hijab, whatever the term is for the scarf that they wear, and it left me a bit unnerved, to be honest with you.
Yep. Yeah.
And normally I'm tolerant of everyone, but it just left me very uneasy. Very uneasy. I don't know.
Can I tell you something that happened to me? I'm on food stamps. I went to the social service office. There was a woman wearing a burqa with just her eyes showing. Dominic, I freaked out. I couldn't even be near her.
You know what? I'm not gonna be a phony, Angelina. If I get on the plane and I see that same situation, I'm ready to ask, can you please move me? I'm just not comfortable when you look at what happened on 9/11. I mean, I don't know. And I see Dave is calling back. Tell Dave he's done for the night, to stop wasting my time. He's not getting on the air with his hatred. Angelina, I got to wrap this up because I'm already a minute late for a break, but I thank you for your wonderful call. Thank you so much, and you raised some very legitimate issues there. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news.
And as we said just minutes ago, the mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, making the announcement official. The mayor called a late night Sunday night news conference for 10:45 p.m. to announce that the person of interest that they had in custody, possibly for this shooting at Brown University, has been released. So what that means is the public has let down its guard, right? Things somewhat went back to normal, and the gunman is still out there amongst the public. Now, we don't know if the gunman is in Rhode Island. We don't know if the gunman escaped to Boston. That's only an hour away. We don't know if the gunman went over the state line to Connecticut and on to New York City. We have no idea where the gunman is. And so you see, some of you said, oh, release the picture. Well, they didn't have a front picture. And if they had released the picture, it was the wrong one. So you can't just do what the public demands all the time. You got to make sure you got it right. There's so much news going on. And People magazine, by the way, is reporting that indeed it's the son of actor Rob Reiner that have committed the murder, allegedly, of the longtime director and his longtime wife, as they were found stabbed to death just a few hours ago inside their Brentwood home. And this has sent shockwaves through Hollywood and throughout the country. And so it's so much news going on. The shooting in Australia and so on. There's so much going on. There's something that DMS on Twitter sent me, and I had planned on focusing on this from over the weekend, but it just fell by the wayside. And, I'm trying to figure out what happened here. Now, apparently this occurred in Savannah, Georgia. A random man just poured acid onto a woman's head. They haven't caught him yet, but she's in the hospital with burn scars all over her head and her neck. And DMS says you'll notice her skull is exposed to where her scalp melted off. This is evil manifest. And then she says, worse still, I haven't seen one report that mentions his skin color, which is the dominant feature of ID. I want to focus on that for a second. So she's white. He appears to be black, I don't know if that's black makeup, blackface, but he appears to be black. Here's the problem, DMS, and it's a big problem. The same way we question what's going on in the classroom in colleges and top journalism schools, they are taught now, the kids are taught. When I was at New York 1, a rule came out that you could no longer ID a suspect based on race, with the theory being that it was always male black, male black, male black, male black, male black all day long. So these geniuses that run the journalism school said no more racial identity. You just describe the height, you describe what they look like. That's ridiculous. You got to call it for what it is. If the suspect is black, the suspect is black.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter. Breaking news.
And from the Brown University shooting, 2 dead, 9 wounded. A gunman is still on the loose. The mayor of Providence announcing just a short time ago, he called a news conference for 10:45 p.m. where officials had to announce that the person of interest they had in custody, they are being forced to release. So that must mean that the ballistic information evidence did not come up with this person as the shooter. The person of interest is being released. A lot is going on. Out in California, Rob Reiner and his longtime wife found stabbed to death inside their Brentwood home. Police have identified the son as a person of interest. People magazine reporting that the son allegedly killed them. I'm looking at my Twitter, at my ex. The lovely Liz Rosenblatt says, at Dominic TV, these days, these are not, she capitalizes the word not, the type of news you want to report. Every single breaking news, so sad, so tragic, so unsettling, so evil, so unbearable. The world has gone mad. Unfortunately, Liz, for right now, and I'm generally a optimist. No one's more of an optimist than Liz is. But right now, you are correct, Liz. It's how I honestly feel, folks. I'm just going to say it. It's a horrible night to be live on the radio. There are just too many negative stories. But if there's going to be somebody that's got to do it, I'd be the one to step up and do it, because it's got to be done factually. It's got to be done correct. And we bend over backwards to get the information right. Mentioning the mayor of Providence, and we're going right back to your telephone calls. The mayor stating that one of the students that made their way out went through these types of trainings in high school about how to deal with a armed shooter on a campus or so on. And this is what the mayor had to say.
One of the students that showed tremendous courage literally said to me, you know, that active shooter drill they made me do in high school actually helped me in the moment. Which at the same time provided me hope and was so sad. We shouldn't have to do active shooter drills. But it helped. And the reason it helped and the reason we do these drills is because it's so damn frequent. And so there'll be plenty of time, at least from my office, and I don't speak for any of the other public officials here. They're welcome to share if they so choose. There'll be plenty of time to talk about what advocacy and policy changes should be made. But we're still very, very much hard at work at the task at hand, and that is to be able to bring charges forward.
The mayor making the announcement that they were going to free the individual that they have had in custody. And you may hear the audio in the background because I'm literally on the computer trying to get as much information as we go along. So I do apologize for that. You know, it's interesting because the Fox News channel reporting that the shooter at Brown University shouted something like Allah Akbar. We don't know if this is confirmed, but this from Fox News.
And called into police. I mean, the reality is that this is a 7-story physics and engineering building that was unlocked, but this individual went to a specific classroom that was essentially in a study session for an exam on economics and chose that classroom. And we know from a witness inside that this gunman yelled something. We don't know what this individual yelled and then began shooting. We also know that this person reportedly used a handgun. So a lot of questions also as to whether or not they recovered that handgun or what kind of ballistics evidence may have led them perhaps to this individual as well. So we have more questions than answers other than the fact that we know the lockdown has been lifted and at least according to the mayor, this community can breathe a sigh of relief. But hopefully we hope to find out more in the coming hours.
So the first victim from Brown University happened to be a sophomore, her second year of college, by the name of Ella Cook, and she was the vice president of the Brown College Republican Club. Is that connected? I doubt it, but who knows? Who knows? Here's the one thing I can tell you, folks. I don't think the president of Brown University is going to make it. I don't think she's going to survive this because, one, she didn't make the initial news conference. It was the provost, which means that she was not in the area. Neither was a police commissioner. And when she did get there, she knew absolutely nothing.
I'm catching up right now.
President, with all due respect, 6 hours after this shooting, and you said you don't know what was going on in that classroom? How does that happen? Were they taking an exam? Were they meeting for a club?
I don't know. I don't know.
6 hours later, and you're the president, and you don't know?
I do not know.
Well, that's kind of concerning.
Was evidence as a result of any.
So again, I don't think this president may survive. She's going to be forced to walk the plank. 6 hours later, and she could answer nothing. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Line 5, Lamar in New York. Lamar, what's on your mind?
Good morning, Mr. Carter. The only way to respond to an active shooter is to return fire. The only way to return fire is to be armed. Y'all right now are living in what you call a sanctuary city. In sanctuary cities, you have police agencies and prosecutors who release into your city, into your population, people who are determined to do injury to you. It is up to you, for that reason, to be armed and defend yourselves and your loved ones.
Okay, wait. Lamar. So who was going to be armed in that classroom? The college student instructor or one of the students? Who was going to be armed in that? See, it's easy to talk that talk, right? Who was going to be armed?
Mr. Carter,
No. I'm not going to let you get away with that. Who was going to be armed in that classroom?
Mr. Carter, you may not be aware of it, but I was on active duty carrying a gun when I was 17 years old.
Okay, Lamar, just please answer my question. Don't divert to something else. Who was going to be carrying a gun in that classroom?
Anyone above the age of 17.
Okay, so you're saying, so wait a minute, Lamar. So you're saying that one of those college kids would show up with a gun on campus, which they would be expelled from college immediately. Is that what you're saying, Lamar?
Well, I'm telling you, Mr. Carter.
No, I just want you to answer my question. I don't want to hear your speeches. I don't want to hear your speeches. Lamar, I don't want to cut you off. Lamar, lower his audio. Lamar, please answer my question. See, it's easy to get on here and act like this is Hollywood. Oh, a gun with a gun is going to stop the problem. Who was going to be the one to carry the gun in that classroom, Lamar? That's all I want you to answer. That's what I thought. Lose Lamar. Let's go to, let's go to Karen, line 3 in New Jersey. Karen, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. So in Australia, how is it, being that guns were outlawed there, you cannot You cannot get a gun registered in your name for protection, even if, you just keep that gun in your house. How is it that this Islamic terrorist was able to get registered 6 guns in his name?
Well, who says he was an Islamic terrorist prior to the shooting?
Well, he wasn't, but he's not a natural-born citizen.
That doesn't make you. But that doesn't. Karen, I agree with you. But that doesn't make you, because he wasn't born in the country, that doesn't, until the shooting occurred, that doesn't make him an Islamic terrorist. So
that is true. That is true. But what I'm saying is, what were the reasons that he had to have 6 guns for if the majority of the people there can't even get a gun just for their own protection?
True. That's true. You're correct with that. Go ahead.
Well, let me make an observation here. How is it that at some point in history, Muslims were not allowed to immigrate to certain countries? Now, all of a sudden, the doors are open to them, and they're wreaking havoc all across Europe, in Germany, in France, in the UK, in the United States. Okay, I'm going to tell you how. Because the globalists are using them to go into all of these countries because of their ideology of taking over the world and terrorizing people to become Muslims like them, and if not, they'll kill them. And they have no conscience because that's their worldview.
Well, Karen,
so I believe.
Wait, Karen. You going way off the cliff, okay? Now I may agree with you with certain points, okay? But we can't broad brush an entire group of people. I'm sorry, you just can't. You can't. Is that what your answer is?
Known fact that the globalists are using.
Okay, no, you said that already.
Muslims,
Karen. I'm trying to engage with you. Karen, you said that already.
It's going to get worse.
Okay, Karen.
You just keep watching. It's going to get worse. Just
okay, but Karen, so you tell me, I'm in the business of solutions. You can't broad brush an entire group of people. What's the solution?
I can now because of what I'm
No.
seeing.
You may, but a government can't. No government can. So what's the answer?
Well, okay, here's the answer. The globalists who are above the presidents and leaders of the nation.
When you start saying that, you completely lose me. Completely. But what's your answer, please?
But do you really think that they're operating on their own choices? Because they're not.
Okay, Karen, I don't know what else to tell you. You can't. I agree with you in theory with, I'd say, 85% of what you just said. But I get very nervous when we start broad brushing an entire group of people. You just can't do that. Thank you for the call. Let's go to Michael, line 1 on the east side. Michael, what's on your mind?
Yeah, perhaps someone might have mentioned it, but I'm trying to figure out why there was either no or very little police presence at Bondi Beach when they knew there was going to be a huge Jewish crowd there. But irrespective of the Jewish crowd, any crowd.
So Michael, wait. So I don't know how big the crowd was, okay? But this is not Hollywood. So the police are supposed to have officers, and there were officers there. But they're supposed to have officers at every public gathering. Is that what you're saying to me?
No, this was a large gathering.
Define large.
There was several hundred people there. If you read the news, it says that several hundred people. And with all the problems that Sydney and Australia as a whole in its major cities is having with anti-Semitic attacks, you would have thought that somebody would have said, hey, let's have a a decent police presence there.
Well, there were police there, Michael, but and for argument's sake, right? Let's say there's an event going on in Central Park, just for argument's sake, right? The police can't cover every location for that gathering. I mean, we can't acknowledge that, right?
No, when there's a big event like a musical event, there are a lot of police there.
But Michael, you didn't answer my question. They can't cover every aspect of the crowd. That's what I'm asking you.
I don't know what the word aspect means.
Meaning that let's say it's 500 people at an event. You can't have officers to cover every angle of it. That's all. All I'm saying is, go ahead.
Fine, I understand. But if you do have a large police presence, unless somebody is a wacko, an extreme, a jihadist like these two were, the police presence will tell these evil doers.
No, it doesn't. See, that's what I mean by Hollywood. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. All they're looking for is an opportunity. And if the police are a block away, they got the opportunity. See, this is not, I'm going to say again, this is not Hollywood. I got to take a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And we are continuing to follow the breaking news. You have the situation in Australia, 15 dead, Holocaust survivor, children among those that are dead. The mayor of Providence, Rhode Island, announcing just a short time ago, the person of interest that was in custody is being let go. That means that the gunman at the Brown University shooting is still on the loose. Could be in Rhode Island, could be in Boston, could be in Connecticut, could be in New York City. We just don't know. And out of L.A., Rob Reiner and his longtime wife were found stabbed to death inside their Brentwood home in California, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. People magazine reporting that it's the son that has done this allegedly. The police have identified the son as a person of interest. Let's continue with your telephone calls. Let's go to line 3. Ed in Indiana. Ed, good morning. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic. How you doing? I'm fearful. My wife is going home to see my parents, my mom actually, in Long Island, and I'm worried about her with the current state of affairs with the lack of weaponry. I choose not to carry. Everybody here in Evansville has a weapon of some kind, and my daughter has reminded me more than one time. She just turned 19. Don't worry about it. It's safe area where we are. And is that totally the wrong way to think? What do you think, sir?
Well, I'm not exactly following what you're saying. You mentioned your wife, Long Island. You mentioned your daughter. You didn't say where your daughter was, and I don't understand exactly what you're asking me.
Yeah, no, she's not here with me. She's at home with the missus. We're separated, but yeah, I'm not worried about. I'm worried about them going back to what's going on. It seems like only the criminals have guns, and the police, if they are carrying, they won't use them. And we've got who knows what other elements are out there. Like you said, Mr. Reiner and his wife would stab with a knife. There has to be some sort of social conscience, and I think the weapons are helping with the curtailing.
Well, I hear you, Ed, and thank you for the call. The LA situation, the son is a person of interest that the police are looking to talk to hear that Rob Reiner and his wife are no longer with us, that the man was stabbed to death. Such a violent crime, and way to go. The Providence situation, the Australia situation, I can understand how in Australia you would say that a good guy with a gun could have stopped that, but a good guy did stop it, and he didn't have a gun. And he came up behind the shooter and tackled him and ended up injured himself, being praised by President Trump. In Providence at Brown University, it's such a liberal school. Who was going to have a gun in that classroom? No one. Not the students, not the student teacher. That would be grounds to be expelled from college immediately. You want to tell me that in an institution like Brown, that the college kids are going to be allowed to carry guns? I don't think so. If you know anything about Brown University, if you know anything about Rhode Island, you know that that's absolutely ridiculous. Quickly, let's go to George, Long Island, line 5. George, you got 15 seconds. I apologize.
Dominic, if everyone was allowed to carry guns in New York City, it was everybody ran out and bought pistols. You've been around the block. What do you think would happen in New York City if everybody was allowed to go out and carry a firearm? That's my comment.
That's a great question. I don't know. I really don't know. One, it's not conceivable. It's not going to happen legally, but it's a great question. I got to ponder that, and I'll get back to you on that, George. I'm back at 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Take my word for it. I live there. Come to Florida. Get pre-approved right now with my guy Michael Kotze. Call him at 561-441-2730. He's got Choice Mortgage and a great real estate team. Get pre-approved right now. Michael Kotze, 561-441-2730. Buy in Florida right now. Don't wait. Save money on state taxes. Make your move today with Choice Mortgage. Trust me, Florida is waiting. This guy's so good, he did my commercials in Florida too. Mike Kotze, 561-441-2730. A ride.